Today I'm going to talk to you about something that may cause you to think of violence, but violence with a good ending. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the courage to decapitate the giants in your life that are mental, emotional, and even psychological, that you have the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding to take charge of once you identify that there is either complacency, fear, or laziness in the pursuit of your dreams. Now, what character will I use this morning? I'm going to use the character of David. David was a shepherd boy, and he was a shepherd boy in Israel, and he was one of 8 brothers, and he was the least liked, the least thought to succeed, and he had some positive attributes in that he was very handsome, and he was very friendly, and he was also very obedient. He was obedient to God, he was obedient to his father, and he was very helpful to his brothers, as well as to his family, his brothers. And when we think of David, we also have to remember that he was a shepherd boy. Shepherd boys were responsible for making sure that they led the sheep from one destination to another destination, and in that process, they would have the possibility and the opportunity of having a good journey or a good passage or good success. And in order to do that, you had to be fearless. And to be fearless meant that you had to be willing to face bears, lions, all kinds of weather hazards, as well as robbers, individuals that would like to steal your herd and harm you in the process. But David was a very, very sharp young man. Because of his obedience and because of his love for God and because of his desire to do a good job for his dad, he really committed himself to excellence. He committed himself, first of all, by committing to God that he would be all that he could be with God's strength, and to his father as his son that he would obey. There came a time in the history of Israel that there was a Philistine giant, and that Philistine giant's name was Goliath. And Goliath was very, very boisterous. He was huge. He was over 9 feet tall. And he had the ability to intimidate. He had the ability to cause one to cringe at the very sound of his voice, at the very appearance of him on a battlefield. Soldiers would want to run, throw down their weapons, and hide. However, David was given an assignment one day to take some food to his brothers that were on the battlefield, and they were facing the Philistines, and the giant Goliath was the key figure in this particular Philistine battle. And David marveled because he had faced bears and lions, and he had taken care of all kinds of difficult situations. But he was not identified as a soldier. He was identified simply as a shepherd boy. And when he got to the battlefield and he saw these very well-trained soldiers crouching and hiding from this giant, he couldn't understand it. And he went to King Saul and he said, what's going on here? Why are you all so afraid? Why are you, afraid of this loudmouth giant? Before I go any further, I'd like to ask you a question. Why are you afraid of a loudmouth giant that raises his voice in your head and tells you that you can't succeed, tells you that you can't make it, tells you that you don't have enough talent, that you're not good looking enough, that you're not prepared, and that you're just not the person that anyone would want for that particular job? And you listen to those kinds of intimidating thoughts, and they hold you back. They bring you into either a sense of rejection or a sense of complacency where you just give up before you get started, or you even get to the level of laziness, not even bothering to try anymore, totally giving up. Because that's what we see in the Israeli army on that particular battlefield that David had happened upon in delivering the food to his brothers. But we're out in the field, out in the marketplace. There's always that individual leader that looks at a situation and he does not see how big the situation is, but rather he sees, number one, how big God is and how big the opportunity is for him with God's help and the talents and the skills and his willingness to work, that he can, in fact, impact that situation and make a grand difference. And that's the moral of this story, because that's exactly what David did. He went from shepherd boy to hero in just a matter of one battle against one giant. And I'm going to encourage you today, face the giants in your life, but face the first one first, because that's the one that opens the door to the many, many, many different opportunities that will be out there for you to grow and to be promoted and to reach your dreams, just as David did. Because eventually, he not only went from shepherd boy to hero, he went to king of Israel. And so what I want you to do is remember this, that when David went on the field, he didn't try to put on everyone else's clothing, everyone else's armor, everyone else's look, everyone else's abilities. Instead, he reminded himself of who he was. He reminded himself of how God had helped him in the past. And if God had brought him to this field, obviously it was for purpose. So wherever you are today, I believe that God has brought you here for purpose. Listening to this particular presentation between myself and you, God has brought this for purpose in your life. And what he wants you to do is he wants you to step out on that battlefield. Don't try to wear the armor of others. Don't try to talk and look and act like others, but be yourself and give it the skills that you have, knowing that with God's hand on your hand, you are going to be victorious. You are going to cut the head off of your giant. If you remember the beginning of this presentation, I talked about the fact that this presentation may sound a little violent. Well, sometimes we have to take our opportunities by violence, in the sense of we have to get rid of, we have to rip off those things in our mind and in our attitudes that literally hold us back. David could have done like his brothers, and he could have said, you know, that giant's pretty big, and I probably shouldn't mess with that dude, because after all, he's over 9 feet tall, and he has a big sword. But instead, David looked at that giant and thought, you're coming down today. Not tomorrow, but today. And so he took the very strength of what was holding him back, or I should say, what was holding his fellow citizens back of Israel, and he decided to use it against the opportunity. And how did he do it? He first of all used what he had in terms of his skills, but the first thing he used was courage, and then he used what he had as his opportunity, and he began to use the stones that he knew best of how to use, and he thrust them forward. Thrust them forward. He didn't just kind of, flip them out, but he was winding up and winding up and winding up and winding up to a high speed, where when that stone was released, it was like a bullet. And it went right into the opening and the opportunity to bring that giant down in his helmet. So you can destroy the giants of your life by making sure that you keep your eye on the opportunity. It may be a small opening. The opening on that particular giant's helmet may have been small compared to the hugeness of the, that is a word, hugeness, of the largeness, the vastness of this particular giant. But David was not afraid. Number one, he had no fear. He was not complacent, and he certainly wasn't lazy. But he wound up what he had with record-breaking speed, and he thrust it forward. And that's what we have to do. If we want to reach our dreams and reach our goals, we have to prepare ourselves, and we have to pursue it with everything that we have, full throttle ahead. And I will assure you that just as Goliath the giant's head came off that day when David put the sword to its neck, once it fell, it never raised its ugly head again against David. As a matter of fact, when that giant fell after David hit it with the slingshot stone in the helmet, forehead area, that giant never raised his head again in terms of David. And once you destroy the giants of your life, it will be very difficult for them to rise again and to intimidate you. Why? Because you will have the victory. And that's the key today. Have the victory over that which intimidates you. Take it by violence. But the violence begins within your own mind, within your own heart, and with your own willingness to step out into the marketplace. Step out on that field that you said you want to become a part of, and that you want your voice to be heard, and you want to share your skills and share your abilities and make a difference. You see, David made a difference that day. He made a big difference. So much so that he went from shepherd boy to hero to king of Israel. Now, of course, all of that was within time from the time that he was a hero until the time he became king. He was being prepared. So be encouraged today. Life is full of opportunities. Step out on the field. Use what you have. Be yourself, but do it with every bit of gusto within you. And I know that though you take it by violence, you will succeed. God bless you and have a wonderful day. This is Eunice Phelps from Orlando, Florida, knowing that this truth will make a difference. It will make a change in your life if you apply it.